And you can go ahead and sit wherever you would like. Were you able to find the office okay today? Okay, good. Okay, why don't we start by maybe introducing everybody? Do we wanna take turns, or would there be one person that wants to do that? Okay. Okay, Mr. Castor, okay. All right. Is it okay if, everybody just shared maybe just a little bit about yourselves and, okay. All right. So why don't we talk about, what prompted us to come today, what we're hoping to be able to accomplish together. Okay, so, okay, Mr. Castor, you wanna, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm hearing that you're having some problems at work. It's coming from anxiety, stress, maybe, you're saying that there's gonna be maybe some layoffs and things. Now, where do you work? Okay, all right. So it sounds like you're having a lot of stress and anxiety, which is, I think what you said is affecting the rest of the family. I think, I know your son, Jack, is having problems in school, and, then Chad is sick, and then of course your wife is really worried, and your father, okay. So, when you talk about the past, and I know you've mentioned that when you were growing up, your dad talked about you being a hard worker, and, what about your mom? Where was your mom? Okay, so she was not available, can you describe that relationship? Okay, okay. So would you say that you were very close, or maybe in between, or, okay, so you weren't close at all? Okay, okay. But your dad basically kind of instilled in you that you need to work hard, and that, that's kind of what you've been doing all of these years, and that helps him to be proud of you, okay? All right. So is it okay, Ms. Castor, if you would just tell me, maybe share a little bit about, your past, or maybe growing up, and, okay. So now what I'm hearing is your parents passed away, and you were in a foster village for girls, okay. Was there anybody there that you were particularly close to, like maybe a mother figure, or, okay, it wasn't, okay, okay, okay. And it sounds like they taught you you were a hard worker, to be able to survive, that you had to work hard, and so that others wouldn't see you as being lazy, okay, okay. All right. So it sounds like that's kind of what you did, okay. Now, it sounds like when you talk that these values and feelings, they were really instilled in you, and sometimes, as we grow up, things can be what we call internalized, and sometimes when we don't have like the relationships that we really wanted or kind of yearn for, we do internalize certain feelings that does help us protect us. And I'm just gonna kind of ask a question and kind of throw this out. Is there any way that maybe you could be, with your feelings of working very hard and surviving, and being able to cope, is there any way that you could be projecting that on to your husband? Okay. And it sounds like, Mr. Castor, that that you've been able to assume that role because you were taught to be a hard worker. You want to make your dad proud, so you've been able to just assume that role. Okay. So now, okay, so you're wondering why we're having to talk about this. Well, sometimes we do have to look back in our former experiences, our former life experiences, to see if there were some things that was perhaps unresolved, that's causing anxiety, maybe unresolved anxiety from them, that we need to kind of work on. And that helps us be able to help resolve those problems so that we can move forward. So now, okay. So I'm sensing that you're a little bit frustrated, okay? Okay. So now I'm reminding you of one of your former bosses, okay? So now how do you feel when you remember that boss? Okay, you're anxious, okay? And sometimes that happens. Sometimes, we can have feelings toward our therapist, but they're really feelings, it's where our therapist is reminding us of someone else, and it's bringing up that specific feeling. And you're saying it's anxiety, okay? So, is it okay if we just explore that right now? Just talk about that anxiety. What does it look like? What does it feel like right now? Okay. So you're saying it makes you feel scared and that you're worried. You're worried about your family. Okay. Okay. And this can happen. And would you be interested in the whole family? Can we work together? We can come up with different strategies to maybe address some former, like I said, some former anxiety, some former issues that weren't resolved. And once we work on that, we can see about making progress in our current situation. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you.